All right, today we're going to take a little quiz. Which of the following passages are from the Gospel of Mark? Number one, isn't this the carpenter? Isn't this Mary's son and the brother of James, Joseph, Judas, and Simon? Aren't his sisters here with us? And they took offense at him. All right, second quote. When he disembarked and saw the vast crowd, his heart was moved with pity for them, for they were like sheep without a shepherd, and began to teach them many things. Third quote. And the people brought to him a deaf man who had speech impediment, and begged him to lay his hands on him. He took him off by himself away from the crowd. He put his finger into the man's ears, and spitting touched his tongue. Then he looked up to heaven and groaned and said to him, Ephphatha, which is, be opened. And immediately the man's ears were opened, and his speech impediment was removed, and he spoke plainly. Fourth quote. They were on the way going up to Jerusalem, and Jesus went ahead of them. And the fifth quote. Now a young man followed him, wearing nothing but a linen cloth about his body. They seized him, but he left the cloth behind and ran off naked. All right, so which of those are from the Gospel of Mark? Or, number 6, all of the above are from the Gospel of Mark. Waiting for your answer. You may not have expected a quiz today, but I hope that everyone correctly answered number 6. All of those quotes were from the Gospel of Mark. Mark's Jesus is a blue-collared, compassionate, earthy, and constantly on the move man. He's a carpenter who's not afraid to get his hands dirty by touching bodily fluids and other people's wounds. Jesus is always on a journey, a step ahead of his disciples, so you feel an urgency in Mark's Gospel account. In fact, the word immediately occurs 27 times in Mark's Gospel. His followers are often confused, afraid, and in some cases they run around naked. We see these themes in today's Gospel reading. Jesus tells his followers that they too will get their hands dirty, touching serpents and laying hands on the sick. Jesus then ascends to heaven while his followers immediately get to work, preaching the good news. As we celebrate the feast of St. Mark, can we be inspired to act immediately and preach the good news to those around us? Or are we too afraid to get our hands dirty by touching those most in need? Like Jesus' disciples, we may feel confused and lost, but we can feel the same compassion that Jesus had for his lost sheep. To paraphrase Pope Francis, can we be humble shepherds with the smell of the sheep on our hands? Amen.